All right, here we are in mid-afternoon, slightly overcast, a little bit breezy, so I'll speak up and try and catch this for you. Very fun. Handling several cars in the collection. Multiple cars. We've been up here a few times over the past few years, and we enjoy coming to Texas. A little bit muggy. Anyway, very neat 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird. Very few of these cars were produced, and they were only produced in the 1970 model year. 500 had to be introduced to the public so they could run them in NASCAR. These cars were super competitive in NASCAR, but after a certain point they kind of wrote them out of the rule books and they weren't allowed anymore, so to speak. Anyway, they have an aero spoiler on the back. It was great for the super speedways. Step back and let you take a look here and take a feel. Very cool car. Anyway, this particular car has received a rotisserie restoration, lemon twist yellow top to bottom. Underneath the hood's a 440 6-pack 4-speed V-code, one of 308 built, somewhere around there. There are only about 1,920 of these cars built in 1970. Varying engine combinations, Hemis, that type of thing. But the V-code is a fairly low production with the 4-speed and the 6-pack carburation on it, Super Commando. Up front here, the Speedway version didn't have headlights, but this has flip-up headlights for the street version. This is definitely a retail version. Up here, these bolsters or scoops on the fenders. Depending on the use of the car, those scoops were utilized. They're more of a cosmetic thing on the street version, but on the NASCAR version or the Superbird version, they were actually a way to allow the tire to come up into the fender well, because they ran pretty low on NASCAR, and the Daytonas, I believe, used them as air vents. Not sure exactly, but we'll do a little research and cover more as we go to Spud's garage and tell you a little bit more about this car. Finished with a black vinyl roof. I think they all had black vinyl roofs on them. Again, body off style restoration. Not body off, it's a rotisserie restoration. Has the factory wheels on it with the Goodyear Polyglass F60 15 tires on it. Hood pins on the front. This nose added 19 inches to the front of a stock Roadrunner, which is kind of neat. It added a lot of length to it. If you want attention, this was the car to get attention, no doubt about it. Too much fun. You go down the road, they definitely know you're coming. They know when you're rolling into the parking lot too. Pentastar on the fender up here. Chrysler only put them on one side in case anybody didn't know that or not. Plymouth Roadrunner on the back. I want to make it crystal clear, it was a Superbird, beep beep, Roadrunner kind of car. I think you knew that anyway. Nicely done factory style restoration. Like we talked about, OEM style carpet, OEM style upholstery. It is a 4-speed, so it has the pistol grip 4-speed shifter on it, Hurst shifter. Little door open buzzer even works on it. Gets you in the back seat here. Little spec sheet. We'll actually go through back to the office and cover a lot of stuff like we usually do. I'll get into the office and see what I can dig up about the restoration of this car. As I cover this walk around and do the documentation, I try and cover what I see, and then I kind of go from there. We've had it up on a lift. I know what it's like on the bottom. It's beautiful. Bucket seats, no console, retractable seat belts, doors shut nice, gaps look nice, rolled the windows up and down. Said we've been fighting a little bit of weather today, so it's a little bit windy. Hope you can hear me over the speaker. Look at that. These wings, while they look kind of silly, they definitely added a lot of advantage to the Plymouth and Richard Petty when he ran these with Hemis in them, I can tell you that. The trunk is finished the same way, and we'll spend some time in the trunk for you. These oval shaped tailpipes were pretty, you knew it was a Superbird when you looked at those taillights, or these tailpipes, the way they're oval shaped like that. That's one of the distinctive features, and of course the Roadrunner with his helmet. Quite the looker, no doubt about it. We're going to get in and fire it up like we usually do, and kind of give you a better feel. There is a spec sheet. I want to cover the here's a Superbird 440 6-pack 4-speed. Here's the actual picture of the, we're going to go through the file and that kind of thing here. Here's a picture of the original data tag. They just didn't want them lost. It's in the car to prove it. 30 NASCAR number 1. I don't know what that means, but NASCAR version of the cars. These were kind of neat because they had, you know, round face gauges, performance style gauges in them. Shut the door here, we'll fire this thing up, kind of give you a feel and go over the factory tack in the dash there. Reached about, I think it's about a 5,200 RPM tack. Clock in the middle there. Odometer reading the time of inspection is 62,757. Full gauges here. We haven't run it long enough to get the temp up, but the rest of them seem to be working just fine. AM radio. Wipers work. We did notice the windshield appears to be the original Pentastar windshield, which is kind of neat. Kind of gives you a good idea. So it does have a little bit of wiper. You can look through it there, a little bit of wiper scuff on the windshield, but it is the original windshield on this car. Emergency brake I've got set, that's what that light is. Put it in neutral. Power steering. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep. Beep, beep, horn works. You can hear the cam. This one's been built up just a little bit. Stock appearing underneath the hood, but I think she's got a little bit more ponies than she would add stock. Anyway, there you have it. Go to spudsgarage.com. Thanks for listening to me. Hang on to the end of the video and have a great day. Alright, we'll get you underneath the hood like we promised. As we mentioned during the walk around, this is just a really nicely done car when it comes to stock style format and restoration, which is what you'd want to do with a kind of car like this. It is documented with its original buck sheet or build sheet and its original fender data tag, which we'll have a copy or the picture of that at Spud's Garage. Underneath the hood here is the V code, one of only 308 built. It's a 440 6-pack, 3 Holley 2-barrel carburetors, 6 barrels of fuel. Like I mentioned, it's finished in a Hemi orange, I believe is what that color is, but it's the 440 version of it. They built fewer 440 versions, I believe, or pretty close, lower numbers, but the 440 6-pack was also almost as equally rare. 4-speed transmission, Dana Posi or limited slip axle in the rear end. Again, stock style format, all factory wiring here. Roadrunner horn, beep beep. Factory equipped with, these cars required them to have power steering and power brakes, which this car is equipped with. Lemon twist yellow follows all the way through and down to the floor pans. Again, hang on to the undercarriage portion of the video. We took a look at the Holley 2-barrel carburetors. They all look right. And you can study a lot of different things on this car, and we're going to go over, when we get to the undercarriage, we're going to cover the chassis numbers on the side of the block for you and that type of thing. Looks to me like somebody wanted to add a little bit of performance, so it's got a engine color painted Edelbrock aluminum intake manifold on it with the 6-pack carbs. Factory style distributor, all new factory wiring harnesses in this car, reproduction wiring harnesses. Weather's a little bit rough today, so I'm going a little bit fast trying to cover these cars. It's really neat when you look at these cars, the extension on the nose and the way they built these up to run super speedway. Go to spudsgarage.com. We're going to have it plenty more. Have a great day. Alright, as promised during the walk around, we would share the original fender apron tag here that's included with the car. It's right here. And also the original buck sheet or build sheet is right here. You can pause on it if you like. That's the original one that's included with the car. And then of course we're going to have copies at Spud's Garage of the original and the data tag, and I'll actually take some photographs here. Anyway, there you go, on the Superbird. Alright, we'll get you under the wing and into the trunk. When I first opened the trunk, I couldn't remember if they'd hit this wing or not, but they don't. Anyway, nicely done in the trunk, just like the rest of the car. Factory style jack, spare, full-size spare in the back, matching type tire. Finished in the high impact lemon twist yellow, all new OEM style wiring harnesses in it, that type of thing. Floor pans are also finished in the high impact yellow. Has the original jack and bumper jack there. I believe they required a different jack because of the nose on the front. So there's the other jack and the lug wrench right there. We think you get the idea. Go to spudsgarage.com. You'll find plenty more. All right, as promised, we got the Superbird up on the lift and we want to share the undercarriage with you. I'm going to speak out quite a bit over the speaker because the wind is pretty bad today. And we'll get the video done of the car where we're, next to a building or that type of thing. But I want to cover the undercarriage here for you. Beautiful rotisserie restoration according to the sheet that we have and information passed on. This car is all original sheet metal, rotisserie restoration, lemon twist, yellow. Body color all the way through the underside of the car here. Go up here and share more with it as we go, but I'm studying it as I'm talking to you. But all the factory spot welds on this car all look to be original. It doesn't look like anything's been restored metal wise. According to the spec sheet we have, it's all original metal. Here's the limited slip differential tag for the Dana axle in it. This car has the original, like we talked about on the walk around. We have the original broadcast sheet from it. One of 308 with a V-code 6-pack. 440 underneath the hood, 4-speed. You guys like to see the torque boxes up here? Factory dual style dual exhaust on it. Torsion bar mounts here. Get all the way up into the fenders here. Super, get it? Super clean car underneath here. Superbird. Bottom side of the engine. We get up here. 1/30/69 cast date. You can pause it here. Casting number 2536430S or an 8, I believe. My eyes are not the best when the light's like that. Again, you can pause it. Pause on the transmission casting code there. Casting date. Get out to the rockers here and share it from the outside. Over the other side. Sorry for that. I'll pinch welds. Anyway, go to spudsgarage.com. Thanks for listening to me. Have a great day.